the Rebel Capitalist Show.
We had a very great, incredible conversation when we first met a few months ago in Arizona. I believe that was at Max Kaiser's kind of Bitcoin meetup. Yeah. And, we were talking about how we get the train back on the tracks, or how we get the United States off this slippery slope. And, that's when we were just dealing with we'll call it the cerveza sickness restrictions. It seems like, back then, obviously, the United States was just in this hysteria, this outrage, that nothing made sense. But now it seems like they've moved from one hysteria to the next hysteria. So it kind of feels like we've moved from the cerveza sickness outrage to now the Russia-Ukraine outrage. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? And do we need another crisis in order to divert our outrage away from Russia and Ukraine to potentially avoid World War III? Or how do you see it playing out?
Go back to one of our covers of the Trends Journal before just when this broke out. We went from COVID war, Ukraine war, to World War. And the week before, and 2 weeks before that, we had, when all else fails, they take you to war. Right. I'm going back to January and February when the markets were going down. When all else fails, they take you to war. Once upon a time, there was a thing called the Great Depression.
Yeah, right.
Well, ended like that with World War II. Once upon a time, not too long ago, there was a thing called the dot-com bust in March of 2000. And then Americans elected a little daddy's boy, a little piece of nothing, born on third base and thought he had a home run, Georgie Bush. Oh, yeah. And his ratings were going down into the toilet, where they all should go into, because the NASDAQ was only down 66% the day before 9/11. We were in a recession. Oh, we're going to get that guy Osama bin Laden dead or alive. Can't make that crap up. What did they do? Oh, you remember the housing bubble and the fake markets that they used afterwards to pump it back up? And then what happened? Oh, the Panic of '08. So now we're in the same situation. The markets were totally inflated with all of this artificial monetary methadone that they jabbed into the system. Yeah. Between the government and negative interest rates, way negative when you put inflation into it.
Right.
And now, things are going down. Now the Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. The craphead, the clown playing chancellor of Germany. These names, these bullshit names, chancellor, prime minister, screw you. Right. Anyway, the chancellor, some little bastard that's been sucking off the public tit all his life, another arrogant boy. We're not going to let Russia win in Ukraine. Could you imagine that? They're not going to let Russia win in Ukraine. This thing's only been going on for, I think, about 1,300 years. Oh, Crimea, what was that? Catherine the Great, they were all, and Khrushchev gave Ukraine back when he was drunk it's none of my business. But what I'm saying is war talk. Hey, remember when, again, not making it up, when little Georgie Bush, I had the quote over here. Where was it? The Iraq War. Saddam tried to kill my daddy. That's his quote. Saddam tried to kill my daddy. They take you to war. They're doing the same thing now. They didn't show, well, I'll pick up, yeah. They didn't show the headlines every day of the destruction going on in Ukraine when America only killed, I think it's about 840,000 Iraqis and destroyed the place. I didn't see those pictures every day. I never saw them. Hey, what about Afghanistan, the longest war in American history? How come I didn't see any pictures of that? How about America is responsible for killing 650,000 Syrians because the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, Barack Obama, Assad has to go. Oh, the same Peace of Crap Prize winner, Gaddafi has to go out of Libya. Oh, Libya, Syria, and Iraq. You know why they invaded them? Because their major export was broccoli. Oh, no, it was oil, Celente. Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought we went there to give them freedom and justice. All right? They are taking us to war. The media is doing it in front of our eyes. You're only hearing one side of the story. Oh, you know, those Russians, they should be pulling out of Crimea. Hey, what is the Americans' naval base called in Guantanamo? What country is that? Cuba, something like that? Oh, we have every right to be there, Celente. Why you're terrible. All right? You see what they're doing to us?
Yeah.
The hatred. Yeah. Trends Journal, 2014. America's overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in Ukraine, Victoria Nuland, the undersecretary of whatever, and John McCain passing out cookies in Maiden Square. All the facts are here. How the United States overthrew the government. And again, I'm totally opposed to the invasion of Russia. Make it 100% clear. I launched Occupy Peace. Totally opposed to it. But I know the whys. I know the whys of America promising not to, quote, move 1 inch further in NATO when Gorbachev made the deal to end the Soviet Union. And there were 16 NATO countries. Now there are 30. All right? So I know the why. So what I'm saying is they are leading us to war.
Do you think it's as a diversionary tactic from the inflation that was making the administration incredibly unpopular? Or do you think it's a combination of that and access to Russian oil, like you were saying earlier with the other countries that the United States has invaded recently?
I think it's definitely the crash of the economy that was artificially built up, that the equity markets, housing markets, and skyrocketing when they locked down most of the country in 2020 and 2021. What am I, 6 years old? Who the hell are you talking to? You made this shit happen because of all this fake money. And now the game's over. I was down the city, New York, a week ago. I grew up in the city. I'm originally a Bronx guy, right? I know the city inside out. Go down the West Side Drive, and I got to go east. As I get off, 5:15, rush hour, last Wednesday, the car's going north to get on the West Side Drive from 51st to 57th Street. I look back, not one car, the red light, because we had to make a left, not one car at 5:15 at rush hour. I've never seen the West Side Drive dead like this, even when I used to be going out at, coming back at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've never seen it that dead. All right? For rent signs everywhere you look. This thing was going down big, and it's still going down. The streets are dead at night. You see the inflation rate. Oh, how about the numbers of people that aren't buying as much as they used to when you look at the latest numbers that just came out? All right? So they're getting our mind off it for that. And the other part is, once upon a time, there was a man who was a 5-star general, supreme commander of the Allied forces, and 2-term president, whose farewell address in January of 1961, Dwight D. Eisenhower, warned the American people that the military-industrial complex was robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, the sweat of the laborers, and the future of the children. Hey, you want to buy stock? Get that Lockheed. Oh, yeah, buy them in. They're going up. Look at the dough they're dumping in to the military industrial complex. So those are the two things I see.
Do you think that because we pulled out of Afghanistan, we needed basically another war, and therefore this is the next Afghanistan?
Probably. This is going to be World War III. And when they asked Albert Einstein, the cat that knew a thing or two about making an atomic bomb, what kind of weapons will be used to fight World War III? He said, I don't know, but they'll be using sticks and stones to fight the fourth. And you're a man that knows the history of empires and how they collapse. You study it, you know it, and you teach me about it, and you teach the people about it. We are the collapse of the American empire.